to nowhere. Are we still having fun? I'd rather be used by you than you be something I lose. You tell lies just to touch me, and I hate that I let you. I know I'll never be enough. I'm just so sorry, runner-up. I'd rather be used by you than you be something I lose.
So I'm here with Caroline Romano, who's going to talk about her new single that should be out by today called Used by You. How are you, Caroline?
I'm good. I'm good. Just hanging out in Nashville. How are you?
Awesome. I'm good. So for
Good.
someone that doesn't know who you are, can you tell me more about you and who you are as an artist?
Totally. So I am based out of Nashville, Tennessee. I'm 22. I've been releasing music since I was about 16, so kind of had a long journey so far in it, which has been awesome. And right now I'm in a space where I'm making like alternative rock pop stuff just with very conversational lyrics, I'd say is kind of my vibe, if you're into
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that's really cool. So you're Nashville based. So
Hmm.
usually musicians from Nashville focus on more country music, and your
Yeah.
music is more alt pop rock.
Yeah.
So why did you not go for country and why did you choose the genre you're doing?
I think I started coming to Nashville at a very weird time where it was kind of shifting into a place where you have much more opportunity to do the pop thing. And there are also like as of late a lot of pop, folk, like even like very rock artists writing and recording and coming out of Nashville.
Hmm.
Um, I started coming up here, I mean, and like when I was very young. And it was definitely more of a country sphere then, but I've always just felt like I've gravitated more towards the sound. I've never just felt like I fit in that country sphere. And thankfully, when I got into town, there were opportunities for me to kind of find the pop people here and grow with them. And now it's like a very big part of Nashville, actually, which is cool.
And so are you originally from Nashville? Like you're born and raised?
I was born in Mississippi. I started
Wow.
coming to Nashville when I was 13. I asked my parents to take me here for my 13th birthday to do
Oh,
open mic
wow.
nights and stuff. So yeah, been a minute.
And so I know you have a record that's actually has more than 1 million streams with DJ Rehab.
Hmm.
So you're a rising artist, but you already have, a pretty good popular single, in your belt. So how did that come about? Like, how did that collaboration begin?
That is actually a really like interesting story. It was like just very random how it happened. I wrote that song with three of my friends here in Nashville in 2019. And it was one of those writes where I was like, this is a cool song. I don't know what's going to come of it, but it's cool. And my manager at the time, he'd been my manager since I was like a kid. He just happened to have like, he was like, I actually happen to know this like DJ guy. Have you ever heard of Rehab? And I was like, yeah, I know who that is. And so he like just sent it to him and he was down to remix it. So that's how that happened. And then it actually ended up doing very well, which was very cool to kind of happen on a we didn't expect this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a great record, and I know
Yeah.
that your style is a lot different than because that's more of house music type
Yeah,
beat.
totally.
Is that something that you want to delve back into, or you feel like your music style is more alternative?
I think as like an artist myself, my style is much more alternative pop storyteller. But given the opportunity, like I would definitely love to dive back into that world on occasion. It's super fun and it's just a different side of writing, which is cool.
Yeah, I think a lot of artists love to come out with the original tracks and then the remix version. So I could see that
Yeah.
working out. So you had said you were a self-proclaimed loudest sort of introvert. Those are your words, I read them.
Yeah.
But you're so open and vulnerable with your lyrics, especially with this new single used by you. You're very vulnerable and um almost have like an open heart and you're willing to share like intimate feelings. So where do you find the courage to be that, open and because you say you're an introvert.
Yeah, I think that's kind of where the term I've kind of coined for myself, a lot of sort of introvert stems. It's like in day-to-day life, I'm very, very shy and I physically get sick sometimes just thinking about like having
Oh,
to go like order food somewhere or like ask for something from someone. And I've always been that way. And it was way worse when I was a kid, but music was what kind of brought me out of that. And I truly feel like the only times I'm ever fully myself, like unencumbered and like not afraid, is like when I'm doing anything with music. When I'm on stage, I can be in front of thousands of people and then go back to being this other part of me that's not at all like that. And I think it's like just this side of me that even for a brief moment, for a 3 minute song, I feel like I get to be who I really am. And I don't know what it is about it that makes me like that, but I'm just running with it.
yeah. I feel like a lot of artists have alter egos. So would you
Mhm.
say you're kind of, do you have an alter ego? Do you have a name for that alter ego when it comes to you as an artist as opposed to you in your everyday life?
I honestly think like rather than it being an alter ego, I feel like I feel like that's the real version of Caroline is like when I'm doing music stuff. And this is just more of like a reserved uh kind of glimpse of that girl walking around outside of that.
Ah, okay. So who you are as an artist is the version of you that people who are closest to you know.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems to make that correlation for people, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like music does that with a lot
Mhm.
of artists. They're able to step up out of their shell. So I listened to the new record and I would say it reminds me of like a teen movie.
Okay, I'll take that.
And I know that one of your songs, you added it to a 2008 Hollister playlist.
Yeah.
So how would you describe, I know you said your style is more like alternative pop rock, but how would you describe your music and what would be like the ideal occasion where we would listen to your songs? Like what life phase would we be in?
I think I would describe my music as what is like a pop singer-songwritery song over just a little bit heavier instruments at times, or a little bit more out there instruments. I'm not like I don't choose very bright chords or are super like I think my songs are singable, but just very like moodier, I guess, than a lot of pop songs. And I think my ideal situation for someone to listen to my music is like when you're riding in the car at night and you feel like that moment of like it does feel like a teen movie or like a coming of
Yeah.
age movie or like right before something big's about to happen or you're reflecting on something that was very big in your life. I'm a very dramatic person and I feel things very intensely, and I think that that's something I'll never grow out of because that's such like a teenage trait to just like be all consumed by every little emotion you have. And I think my music is kind of me doing that no matter what age I am, and I want it to do that for other people too.
Yeah, and I feel like most artists feel things more intensely than other people. So your new single, Used by You, it's a bit different than your past music. Some of the other things I listened to were more so like ballads.
Yes.
And this is more upbeat, again, alternative. So what caused that change? Like your music is evolving. So what caused you to now want to transition into more alternative pop?
I think I'm just at a stage where I almost feel like I did when I was 15 again, and like but when I was 15 I wasn't writing really dark things because as a 15-year-old, you don't really want to release those kinds of things, or at least my parents were like, maybe don't say that yet, kind of thing. I just feel I write what I feel, and like I always want it sonically to match just whatever emotion I'm feeling. And I'm in a season of life right now where it's like I do feel like just so much and so like whether it's anger or sadness or joy, like it's intense. And I wanted this song to kind of feel that intensity. And I think there will be a time, not even far from now, where I go back to like the EP I put out last summer was much more chill. It was still pop, but very chill. I feel like this is just kind of like a fluctuation. And I think my music's always going to have some sort of wave that it rides.
Yeah, and you're only 22 years old, so you
Yeah.
seem like you're going through you're going through a lot with relationships. Would you say that's your main inspiration when it comes to your songwriting, romantic relationships?
It's definitely a big part of it. I mean, honestly, I've only been in like one relationship. I'm just very dramatic and I take little interactions and blow them out of proportion for music. And but I'd say a big inspiration is honestly like I'm very self-reflective and I really struggle with myself a lot, like with my mind and with, things like that. And I do often personify like my own mind or like different feelings as relationships as boys because it's a way for me to work that out in my head. If it's like a relationship or it's like something, I'm able to write about it easier than just saying it's about me. Used by You is about a relationship, or a situationship really, which I guess I'd say most of my music is about, not an actual relationship.
Yeah, so would you say this last single, so it was more so about a situationship, you were never with this person because you mentioned how even though you love this person, you would rather lose yourself instead of losing them. So this wasn't a relationship? This was like
Not,
just
yeah, it's more just like somebody you are desperately just trying to cling to and get them to love you the same way you love them, like basically like your friend, and you want them to see you want them to see you the same way, but they really just don't, or they do, and they kind of use that to their advantage to kind of have the best of both worlds, like and have you and have everybody else too. I don't know. I think it could be interpreted a lot of different ways, but that's kind of where I wrote it from.
so is that what ended up happening? Just so like viewers can get a taste of like the story behind the song. So did this person like wanted to be with everyone at once? You just didn't end up being.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very much like I know this girl will be there for me because she's
Mhm.
my friend, and I know she likes me and I like her too, but I also am young and a boy and
Yeah.
in my phase of wanting to have fun, and instead of just breaking things off with her, I'm gonna keep her up by my side, stringing her along, and me allowing that to happen because I was so enthralled with this person, which is not a
Yeah.
good thing to do for anyone listening. Don't do that. So
That really sucks when guys do that to girls. So,
yeah,
but it's good. It turned into really good art, and I feel
yeah,
like
make the most out of
pain,
it.
pain sometimes leads to great art. So, is there anything else you would like to tell us about this single, about who you are as an artist, and yeah, just anything else you want to share with us?
I mean, I will say with this song, like it's a song I've been most afraid to put out because it's like it's not at all redeeming and it doesn't paint me in a good light. Like it makes me seem like weak, and my mom hates the song because she's like makes you seem like you're a pushover, and I'm like, well, I think at some point in everyone's life like there is someone they do that for, or like there is something they compromise on and they shouldn't. And I kind of just at the end of the day, I want my music to be super honest, and that's across the board, even if it's like scary to say. And this is kind of an extreme version of that, but I think I just hope I don't want anyone to relate to this song, but if they
Mhm.
do, like, I'm happy that there is someone talking about it.
That's awesome. And so February 23rd, by the time this comes out, the single will be out. So that's Friday, February 23rd. Where can we listen to the single and where can we follow you? Like, are you on any social media?
Yeah, I mean, you can listen to the song anywhere you can stream music. It'll be on Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, all that good stuff. And you can find me on all the big social media platforms. I try to be active on there, at Caroline Romano or Caroline Romano Music, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Caroline. And be sure to check out Used by You on all major streaming platforms.